Hi there, it is design time. Welcome guys in Efficient Graphic Design channel. And what we want to do today is change the background and move things from a background to another. Like you can see there, this girl here, we will move it to this second background. To show you how to do that, let's jump in Photoshop. But before we begin, if you don't have the Adobe Photoshop installed in your machine, I place the link in the description below where you can download the last version of Photoshop for free. And if you have any problem installing the software, just leave me a comment and I will help you. Alright, let's begin with opening this image. So the first thing we will do is zoom in a little to see clearly all the part of the girl. Okay, we go to the quick selection tool. We choose the quick selection tool. It has three options there. We will choose the plus one and we change the hardness and the size. We change a little the size of the tool. It's still small. We make it a little bigger and we begin our selection. We first select the hair of the girl. We try to select all the parts and not ignore any part of the image we want to select. Like you can see, we select all the parts of the hair. We go a little further. We select the body now. We continue selecting the body. Like you can see, we go now to the bottom parts of the girl. So here, we try to be a little suspicious in the selection. We try to select just the girl and not the background, not the white background. We continue our selection. Okay, we go to the bottom part. That's good. The selection here is perfect. Now we go to the hands. We select the hands of the girl. Like you can see here, we need to make more zoom to see the parts very clearly to make our selection perfect. We need to zoom a little. So we zoom a little. We come back to the quick selection tool and we make the size very small to select the small parts we need in the hand, like you can notice. So we try to select these parts. Okay, that's good. We select these parts also of the hand. That's perfect now. Okay. Now we go to the minus and we try to eliminate these little parts. These little white parts shouldn't be included in our selection. So we remove it with the tool with the minus option. Now we come back to the feet. We return in our plus selection tool and we continue our selection in the feet now. That's very good. We go to the shows, continue our selection. Quick selection tool is a very useful and powerful tool. It can detect all the parts we want to select. That's perfect. The shows are selected now. We move to the right one. Continue our selection. We must be very careful here to not select a part in the background. And if by mistake we select something from background, we can remove it with the minus tool. Okay? We make the image in its real state. Like you can see, the selection is very perfect. We select just the girl and we don't select any part of the background. Now we go to edit, copy, use copy, and we go to the background we want to make the girl in, and we go to edit and we paste it. Like you can see, the image is very huge there because it is in its real dimension. So we move it a little with the move tool and we click right in it and we convert it to a smart object. Why we convert it to smart object? Because when we will make it smaller and we will change its dimension, it will keep its original quality. We make it smaller now using Ctrl T and holding Shift K. And like you can see, even when we make it smaller, it keeps its original quality. And that's because we make it a smart object. We place it in the middle of the image to be more realistic. Another final thing we will do is going to add an effect. We go to Effect, we choose the Drop Shadow effect. We will drop a little shadow in the girl to make it more realistic. We change the settings there to make the shadow realistic, and like you can see, the effect is here. And the result is great, like you can notice. We will change a little in the settings of the shadow. We change a little the opacity. We can change also the distance of the shadow, the spread, the size, the blend mode, and we keep changing until we have the results we want. We change a little the spread of the shadow. That's very good. We change the size a little. We make the opacity. And we click OK when we're done. Okay, you can see now the effect of the drop shadow is very great. Now we will do the same thing with this image here. But the difference here that the background is totally white. So the thing we will do to make the things more easy, we will select the background and we will inverse the selection like you will see. So we'll use the quick selection tool to select the white background. And it is so easy because the background has one color. So we select the white background like you can see. Now the white background, it is selected, and the Nike shoes isn't selected because it has not the white color. So we go to select, in the menu select, we choose inverse, and we inverse the selection. Now the shoes is the one selected and not the background because we inverse our selection. We zoom a little in the shoes. Like you can see, this part here isn't selected. So we go to the quick selection tool another time. We make the size very small. and we select this part also. Okay, now this part is fine, it is selected. These white parts here should not be selected, so we go to the -1, select the minus tool, and we deselect this part. This part shouldn't be selected. Now, like you can see, the result is grid. The shows is only the one item selected in this image and not the background. So we dezoom a little to see the results. We go to edit. We copy the item selected. We go to copy the item selected, and we will paste it in this background. Sorry. We will pass it. Yes, in this background we will pass our item. So we unlock the background and we go to edit past. That's great. Shows is passed in our background, and like we did earlier, we right click in the shows, we go to convert to smart object, and Ctrl T, holding the Shift K, we make its dimension more bigger. Like you can see, the shows keeps its quality. We rotate it a little. The shows keeps its quality because we convert it to a smart object. We rotate the item a little. That's very good. Like we did earlier, we need to add a little shadow to the shows to make them move it in this background more realistic. So we go to Effect, Drop Shadow, and we change a little in the settings of the shadow to make it perfect. We change a little the opacity. We can change also the angle of the shadow, of the effect. We change the angle to 90 degrees. (30° is fine. We change a little the spread. That's fine. Like you can see, we make the effect off. We can see the difference. With the shadow effect, the result is more realistic and more fine. Now we will add an adjustment, which is the levels adjustment. We change the blacks and whites color in the image. Like you can see the effect, the adjustment levels have a great effect in the results. That's very fine. That's our first image and first results. It is great. You can see the effect of the shadows. That's our second project. You can see the item is selected in a very perfect way with the quick selection tool. The adjustment levels is applied in a very good manner, and also the shadows. So alright guys, I wish you enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe to get the tutorials coming up, and if you have any issues, leave a comment and I will reply. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next tutorials.